Yeah, I've noticed like energy fluctuations a lot in the past like couple weeks, like after doing the convergence. And I've been using these Reiki clips online on YouTube. They've got like different clips where somebody sort of sends energy through the clip. Seems to be helpful.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I got lots of good ideas.
I'm going to post a link to a video that was done on the shadow effect, which is the shadow side. So if you guys want to check that out, you can.
You're breaking off, Durga. How long is the video?
Like 15 minutes, but I'll post it so you guys can check it out later.
Okay, I was gonna ask if anyone wants to watch it here, so we can share.
I'm surprised Marco's not here too.
You know, yeah, you just read my mind. I was just thinking, no, it's Marco's not here tonight. I wonder if he's showing up at any point.
Yeah, like he's always here. And Jeff's been AWOL for 2 days.
And what?
That's like almost worrisome. Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where Jeff is, but Marco just got home, so Marco's probably taking care of some stuff, and then he'll probably get online. But he just messaged me saying he just got home.
Dang, do you guys have like lots of mosquitoes in Sedona? Mosquitoes are really trying to get me off the deck here. It's probably too hot there for mosquitoes, eh, Linda?
Oh, sorry, I was answering, but I was on mute. I said here they're kind of obnoxious about sunset, and then after that, not so bad.
Oh, that's cool.
They really like my blood. They don't like my roommates, but they love me.
What type are you?
I think I'm AB positive.
You know, I think my dad's AB positive, and I think they always go after him. I think it might be that certain types are more popular.
Yeah, we have sweet blood, evidently.
I'm A positive. They leave me alone. And we have, swarms of mosquitoes. Moose will actually go in the river to avoid these massive clouds of mosquitoes and drown themselves.
I think I'm like the second most rare type. I think I'm AB negative. But the Canadian Blood Donor Services like took my card away and said like I'm banned from donating blood last time I tried to go. And they came up with this new rule. Apparently, if you lived in Europe for more than 5 years, or for like close to 5 years, like they just don't take it anymore because of mad cow disease. There's like this concern that like mad cow disease was prevalent in Europe during the 90s when I was there, and so they're trying to protect in case it's actually a thing. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Kind of a weird issue.
What that is like mad cow disease affects the gray matter in your brain.
Yeah.
So they've had a few cases in Canada, but not that many cases, and it was more prevalent in Canada. So they're more worried about people having eaten meat that's been contaminated by brain matter in areas where they had mad cow disease. So it could be transferred, so they're worried about that.
Yeah, that's why they were worried because I live near England, and apparently that, like if you're in Europe in the 90s, the whole supply was contaminated from England.
Oh,
And so
wow.
they're like, oh, like you might have eaten some of this back in the 90s, so now we're not going to take any from you. If I start
So,
mooing all of a
so
sudden, you guys don't know what's going on.
even after this long, they wouldn't take it, like after.
Yeah, it's like just a stupid. I think it's a stupid rule, but I'm
There's
not.
no way
I
to
guess I
get rid
shouldn't.
of it. So eventually you will die from it if you actually have it. But so there's no way to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's weird, eh, Deidre? It's like a virus, or it's not like a virus. It's totally different than a virus. It's like they call it a prion.
Right. I know I have a degree in veterinary medicine.
And what does
I
it do?
know about mad cow disease and a bunch of other weird stuff like COVID-19.
What
So
does it
weird.
do? What are the symptoms or the?
It basically turns your brain into a sponge. Like it eats holes in the gray matter. So you eventually like obviously that eventually causes some pretty big problems. And for
Wow.
cows, they just start acting like they're crazy, right? And then eventually, yeah, like your system can't function. But it's been really, really rare for humans to get it. The scary part from a scientific view, I think, is that it's not a virus. Prion is like this weird. It's more like a protein that
Mm,
it's like a screwed up protein that copies itself. So like if it's against another healthy protein, it'll cause that one sort of like a domino effect to get screwed up. So it's not really, like a virus will attack cells, whereas this is more just like a domino effect of something being fucked up.
wow. That's like from out of a movie or something. So like,
Yeah, it's weird because you can't really kill it, right? Like you can't sterilize it or anything. A prion is just like a screwed up protein. So if you sterilize it, you'll kill the other proteins, or it's not. Yeah, it's hard to get rid of. Apparently, I don't eat meat anymore, so
and I I've been back and forth being vegan, from vegan to vegetarian, and now I've been eating again meat and chicken and fish. I don't know why. But I had a reading yesterday, and like a tarot reading, and my and the reading, it says that I need to change my diet. So I don't know if I do know that I need to go back to vegan, because I have this feeling that I'm about to go through a massive shift or download, or like I feel like something big happening for me um within the next couple of months. So I'm thinking that's why I need to be getting prepared with, and that my diet has been a big part. Every time I have a massive shift or a massive download or change, it usually my diet plays a big role in it.
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like they think like the energy from the food, maybe.
Yeah, and I feel like when I change my diet to vegan or vegan raw or just vegan, I see my awakening process accelerating, and uh, I think subconsciously or not consciously, it's like I start eating meat to slow down the process, because maybe I was not fully ready, but this time it feels like I'm going all in. It's scary, but I just can sense it.
That's interesting. I didn't really associate diet with that, like vegan diets with like an awakening. That's interesting.
Yeah, and the interesting part is when I first had my first awakening was with my diet also, and I was gonna say something else, I forgot. Um, the Yeah, so I don't know why. It's not. I do believe, like we create our own beliefs, and it's probably an agreement that I have with my higher self or with myself, where I know that if I'm not ready, I will just go back and eat meat or whatever, and slow down the process. But I do see that when I go into vegan, it accelerates.
That's interesting. I guess it makes sense. It's like your whatever resources we're pulling in from the world, the quality or the kind, what's involved in that. I feel like a lot of people have that economically, like the job you're doing, the resources you're pulling in. Like if you're like a Wall Street banker and you're not feeling as good about it or something, that's possibly going to influence your awakening process.
Well, I think it's different for everyone, because you see people that are, it's just when I think when you have an agreement with source or your higher self, however you want to call it, where when that's gonna happen and how it's gonna happen. So even if you're on
Right.
Wall Street and all that, like you can have an how do you say, when like a sudden awakening. For me, I think this is the way I decided, or I chose to. And actually, today I was watching one of the episodes of Matias de Stefano and on Gaia, and he was saying that if we didn't eat the food and if we didn't do, I don't know, something else, we could be using all that energy for our awakening. So what he says is that food does actually, slow us down vibrationally and energetically.
Oh, that's crazy. Is he sort of speaking of like sun gazing when he talks like that, or
Does he what?
does he is he sort of talking about sun gazing, like getting your energy from the sun, or
No, no, he doesn't talk about that. He talks about more evolved races and why they don't need food, and why right now on this stage of evolution where we're at, that's why we are um, eating food, like physical food, because we're still not that evolved. But eventually we're gonna get, and you can see it, right? You can see it around how our diet has been changing, how now there's more vegan people than there has ever been, or vegetarian people. So I think we're gradually moving into that.
yeah, no, that makes sense for sure.
And for me, I fasted one time for almost 30 days. And the first, again, I'm not an expert on this. Whatever I do with my body is intuitively. So and then maybe someone else comes and tells me, oh yeah, that's how it is or something. But so when I fast, I first 3 days, you feel dizzy and cranky, and I knew, like I thought, my mind is making this up because it's being afraid that I'm gonna die, that I'm in danger because I'm not eating, survival mode. But after I passed that, like after 4 or 5 days, I'm like, I get really good. And then by the 11th day, I don't get hungry at all. Like my body completely goes and not craving food at all. I was fasting, juice fasting. So I was still eating, drinking. I started drinking 3 juices a day. And by the 11th day, I was forcing myself to drink one juice, but I was not craving anything. Like my body was not hungry at all, and I feel the best. I had a lot of energy, I was just happy all the time. It makes a big difference, and for me when I do that. And I was just super skinny. I think I was like probably 90 pounds, and the reason I did that was because I was gonna have ayahuasca ceremony, and I was guided to fast for this specific ceremony. So yeah, I had a very profound experience after.
Well, that's intense, man.
Yeah.
And sorry, so did you end up going? You went through an ayahuasca ceremony?
Yes, yes, yes.
You mind if I ask you, like, how did that unfold for you?
Uh, can you ask like a different question? Like I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, I was like, you don't have to comment. I was just gonna like, I don't know anybody who's tried the ceremony process for that before, and so I'm always curious to hear like what happened. Like I've heard of people, but I have not anybody that I know. So,
oh, okay. Well, that was not my first ceremony. And I'm gonna, since we have time, or if you're still here, I'm gonna tell you the story from the beginning.
awesome.
So, so that's when I started my spiritual awakening. Um, I was in very deep depression, and I had like thoughts of wanting to die, and I didn't want to live anymore. And I was smoking like, I don't know. For me, it was a lot of 5 to 8 cigarettes a day, 10 cigarettes a day, and drinking insane amounts of coffee. I was 50 pounds over my normal weight, and and I was super depressed, and one so what I will do every day, I will sit on my backyard and smoke, drop off my daughter at school, come home, start smoking until it was time to pick her up. So this specific day, I was there and I was just feeling so miserable. By this time, I was an atheist, and I was poor. I was bawling. I was just crying really bad, and I just said, "Oh, please help me! Like, take me now or help me, but I can't take this anymore." And in that moment, like I just feel this. Bliss, or not bliss, but just calm and peace, and like all of those feelings went away right in that moment. So I didn't want to take antidepressants because I tried them prior years before that, and I didn't like how it felt. Didn't feel natural, didn't feel that it was solving, what the root cause of what I was feeling and going through uh, was. So I went inside, I opened my laptop, and as I opened my laptop, I see the first article I see is how to cure depression naturally. So I opened it, I clicked on the link, and there was like ayahuasca retreats in Peru. So, so it's more like the plant finds you, and I don't know if you hear like a lot of us get a call, but not everyone answers. I think that was the call for me. It was right there. It was an offering, I'm here to help you. And I took it in 30 days. I got my passport and I was in Peru. And that's how I was there for 3 weeks, and I was initiated with 7 ceremonies. And that's how my awakening started. Um,
Wow.
from from there, I had ceremonies like maybe after that I had 3 or 4 more times other ceremonies. So a lot of people, what I've seen, a lot of people, they just have something, like some people, they just want to be a better husband, and they go have one time and they'll never work with the plant again. But for other people like me, I chose and decided to which is very funny because my me 651 mentioned Doctor Strange there, and I'm gonna say why this is funny. I decided to go deep, so I ongoing working with plant medicine. I say like every 6 months to a year, depends, because you need an integration period after that. Um, and at the beginning, I was like, well, when is my next one? But then eventually you realize that when is your time, the plant shows back to you again. So there's no need to search for it. Um, Shield showed up, and there is a scene on Doctor Strange when he is trying to find the cure, right, for his hands, and he goes and finds this person on a basketball court, and he tells him, well, I just wanted to, like, they can teach you a lot, but I just wanted to heal my legs. But other people, they can go deep, and that's how he became Doctor Strange. But yeah, there's, for me, it was what was necessary for a start, because I was not waking up. I was already going through a lot of hard stuff in my life, and I was just not, I was not waking up. And that's what it is, like what it says, like an accelerator or like a catalyst for awakening.
Right. It like was, I mean, the experience itself, is it like I hear that it's like crazy intense.
It varies. Definitely the time that I fasted was one of the most powerful ones. It was very, but I was, again, I was guided to that. Oh, and that was another thing, is that um, when just in the moment, the first time before I went to Peru, the moment that I signed up for that retreat, I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking coffee, I changed my diet without even knowing that I had to change my diet. Later I found out that I had to change my diet, for, because you have to prepare also, depending how you do it, again, some, the experience you want to have. um, uh, and there's really things that I've seen people there write books, and I can write a book about it, but the experience itself is not, you cannot describe it with words. Like, you have to experience it so you can understand the full blown of what it entails. And I think that was the first time that I made contact. And that's another way to make contact. When you go in that space, it's so easy to talk to whoever you want to talk to.
That's crazy. So when you say contact, you mean like with like Star Family?
Yes.
Wow.
And and this is so crazy. So one of the ceremonies, like, I can tell you things that happens around ceremonies. I cannot tell you my experience, but I can, because it's so unique. But one time you hear like this, like this big human sound, and the next day when you ask what is that, they say, oh, maybe planes. But no, it's not. There's ships there, there's spirits there, there are ships there, and you can hear the humming of it, and you can see things there, like
Dude,
that.
just as you said that, I just saw something here. The only thing I ever really see is flashings, and I haven't seen a flash since last summer. And I just got a flash right when you were saying ships. It usually happens when like I have something significant, like the first time I had it, I was actually literally trying to make contact, and like I saw, but I've never seen anything else except flashes. So that's, anyway. Sorry to interrupt your story. I just got
No,
that right now.
No, it's
I'm lying.
scary.
I'm lying on my back under the stars here after the Hue meditation, and it was just really weird to get that.
no, that's usually how it works, right? They're like, we're talking about them, and they're showing up. They're just telling you we're here, we're here.
Oh, that was cool. It's been like
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah. So things like things that you can explain, that yeah, you go into this state and you can communicate, but on the physical world, there's things happen that you just can't explain like that. And another very significant ceremony um, was that one where I fasted. And so when you go into an ayahuasca ceremony, it's in complete darkness. And I I was in the middle of the ceremony, and the room was super bright, and they make an altar in the center where they call the spirits of the four directions, and you can see the ray of light coming into the center of it, like that. You don't make that up, like it's there. And one night I just saw a lot of people, in white. And I thought, like, why is everyone in the middle of the room? A lot of people were in white. And I thought, like, wow, everyone is up. Should I go there? But then the next day I realized there was no one there because not everyone was wearing white. They were like the actual ancestors and spirits walking around the room.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and you can see the light, like you can see the light, you can see the energy. Like when they in other ceremonies that I have that been in complete darkness, it's not like they don't call, like it's just darkness all the time. And I do see the spirits, the shamans, like in Peru, they turn into something like they are not humans anymore, and that they become the spirit, they become the energy, and you can see that. And but it's darkness, it's dark all the time, it's dark all the time. And with this other um, people that I work with, they do this vortex, and the light is there, you can see the energy coming. That's very wild. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so that's ayahuasca. And then I tried also San Pedro, which is a cacti.
Is
And
this sort of San Pedro?
yeah, San Pedro. They call it also Washuma and or San Pedro. Those are the most common names. But that one is more of a male energy, and it was too rough for me. It was good experience, and that one is done during the day. So, but also with shamans, like yeah, I wouldn't do it just, you know, you have to have a very set and I think pure intention to go into that, because that's the experience that you will get. You hear people, that had a bad experience, or how they call it a bad trip. It's not a fucking trip, it's an actual ceremony and a sacred knowledge that it's being kept with these shamans and these medicine people for thousands and thousands of years. And that's
Right.
one of the things that I got of, the because you get downloaded like knowledge that I really don't even know what you do with it, because it's just knowledge and downloads of information that you get. And one of those is that, it's the plant medicine like ayahuasca or San Pedro is actually um, it's actually a technology that was left here from the star family thousands of years ago. So it's a way that we can communicate with them, and also to um, grow. And it was left here for evolution, and people don't see it like that. And it's if you treat it with the sacredcy and with the respect, you'll get like so much out of it, like so much. But if you don't go, I guess, with pure intention, you'll get a bad trip, like people say, you'll get a bad experience.
Like if you go by yourself and you don't have like a shaman to guide you.
Yeah, yeah. Or not that, but if you want to go for fun, or if you want to go for because you want to have a trip or the experience and see what's about, and you're not treating it with respect if you don't treat the experience with respect and sacredness.
Right. That makes sense.
Welcome, Gabrielle.
Hi, Gabrielle. So
What's up,
the older.
Gabriel?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We were just talking about
Listening.
spiritual
That was a
awakenings.
really cool experience you had there, Diana, with ayahuasca. Ayahuasca.
Yes. Ayahuasca.
Yeah. I was just listening. That was very interesting.
Yes, it's very profound and beautiful experience for people that are ready. Again, it's not for everyone.
Mm.
Yeah. And the other part to that is also who you have your experience with. I was very lucky to have a good center where I went to, and the shamans were very, they came from a very good lineage, and the people that I work with, and here in the United States, they're also, very well trained shamans as well.
So it's not for the ordinary person then, huh?
Well, it's like I was saying, Christopher, it's, that when you're ready, the plan will call you and it will show up into your life somehow. I have a friend, and for her, it showed up when she was 23, 24, and she didn't have her experience until she was 30. So, but all this time, and for me, it showed up, and 1 month I was in Peru. So it's different for everyone. And the same, like I was saying, Christopher, it's like a call, and you ask for help, you ask for assistance, the plant comes to you, it calls your name, and it's up to you if you want to answer the call.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the difference between, like, I think different cultures look at it differently, and it's not treated with the same reverence, possibly, up north.
Yes, there's a lot of, and I think, it's part of everything. There's a lot of misconception because, probably if it was treated the way it's treated right now, and there's a lot of taboo stories around it, which not anymore, because we're opening up more to it. People will probably do it irresponsibly or in ways that might be harmful, because it can be harmful too.
Absolutely. And there's so many wannabe shamans that are capitalizing on the journey without having the knowledge, the wisdom, or the true shamanic gift to take someone on that journey. And it can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
It can be deadly in some instances, or it can cause a psychotic break that people don't recover from. So
Yeah.
I would encourage caution, most certainly. Be
Yeah.
sure that you trust the person taking you on that journey with your life, literally.
Yeah, because you are putting your life in the hands of the person that you're working with. It is, there is, again, and going back to shadow, right? It's both parts of the coin. This neither good or bad. It's just how different shamans decide to work their magic or to work their knowledge, and the other part, yeah, like literally, like the first time I went, I thought like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a shaman. Like a lot of people that go and have embarked in that journey, they think they're gonna be a shaman because it's just how it is, but it's not it is not like that. It takes years and years and years of training, and also, I'll probably will ask many people, if I can trust the person or not.
It's funny, I was thinking like this is kind of a microcosm of like our tribal experience when we were younger as humans. Like every tribe, every group would have a shaman for like to guide all spiritual experience. And I feel like, we don't really, a lot of communities, there aren't really, there isn't really anybody to sort of hold you back from the ledge or to guide you. And I was saying that like it's kind of cool. This group kind of is acting, at least in my assessment, as a kind of like a shamanic guide to some degree, because we've got collective knowledge of all these people, flowing through these channels. Like every night, I'm getting all sorts of different experiences from different people, and it's just crazy to resonate with people that are on the same frequency instead of being alone. Like I was saying, like the first day I got here, that I just choked up. I was like, this is crazy. I've been alone with this stuff for so long. So it's cool to feel more. I think for thousands of years, we used to have, a spiritual component to the tribe that we were part of.
Yeah, and there's always that wise person, right? The wise priestess or shaman or someone that guides the tribe into whatever is going on. And I think that I totally agree with you. This is a similar space like that, because there I haven't been here so in a while, a couple of days, but I know we have Dana, which she has like a lot of knowledge. We have Sophie, she's, oh my god, super knowledgeable too, and like all subjects as well. So we have very good people in this group, Deirdre, Jimena, she's not here tonight. Linda, I think Linda, it's like an oracle from the Matrix. It's just like so full of wisdom, and I don't even know what you do, Linda, but you're just like, also like you have that wisdom in you that that you don't buy or doesn't come with books or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like totally concentrated here, and like it would, like the shaman would take you through the challenging area, but make sure that you don't go off the edge.
Yes.
It's like I think in our culture, people can go off the edge on their own without, having, like even like a spirit buddy. Like you don't go swimming without somebody if you're going to do challenging material. I wonder, like, if a lot of, the mental illness in society that seems to be this like epidemic, if a lot of that is just people not having connection. Like we're in this world that's been constructed on a radically lonely paradigm. Reductionism is radically lonely. It's like it insists that the universe is composed of little boxes. Everything's in boxes, and our whole world's built in boxes. So how could we not be? It's inherently, the end result is you're lonely. We're like forced to believe that we're just these meat packets walking around in little boxes, and so then you step out of that for a minute and interact at this true, like this level of reality, and society ends up not really jiving with that. It's profoundly lonely. So I think that a lot of people who are experiencing, what the experts call mental illness is really just um, like this radical loneliness. Anyway, that's what I've been thinking recently.
Well, and also I think that those who are labeled mentally ill may be communicating at a higher level that is not understood.
Right. Yeah, so it's a really broad category. Yeah, there's probably like a lot of different experiences going on.
That's where I was gonna say, and then you started talking about it, Christopher, and then Linda added to that. That it's true, you know, like in shamanic when people, indigenous tribes, you know, they see there's no mental illness. There's just people that are ready to be shamans and people that are ready to be medicine people, you know, and that's why, you know, in this society we don't have that. You know, if someone starts saying, like Mark for instance, you know, he starts seeing things that most people don't see or talk, and they put you in a mental institution, when in reality, that's what I said, like there's so many homeless people, right? And a lot of homeless people have mental illness. And I think it's like, if you talk to some of these people, they just have like, they're just like super open channels that are seeing all these things at once, and by not having the guidance, you know, of a shaman or a teacher, you know, they go into this unfortunate state. But for me, like, I was in a laundromat one time, and this person walked in, and they're just channels to receive. Like, he started talking out loud, but the message was for me. Like, I was you know, he was just there, and he walked for me, and he started saying, you know, I had a meditation earlier, and I asked for certain signs or a message, right? And I go to the laundromat that afternoon, and this person just start talking out loud and start saying all this bunch. I'm like, okay, this bunch of things that confirm what I asked for. So yeah, it's scary, but sometimes, because, you know, there are also some that are like aggressive, you know, but it's not their intent at any point to do that. It's just like so open.
Right.
Well, we sometimes ask for the answer, and then we don't want to hear it when it comes.
Can I ask you all something, some advice? It's really not related to this at all, or is that for a different place?
No, please go ahead.
Okay, I was on the Saturday Night Alive Zoom call tonight, and it was just wonderful. It always is. I've been there for every week for the last, I think this was the 15th week. And at the end, I don't know, maybe all of you were there, but Mark Sims did a what he calls that, a C6 meditation to call on the star family to reveal themselves to us in one way or another, whatever way is appropriate. And I was so looking forward to that. I happened to be out getting a few groceries just before the end of the show, listening to it while I was at the supermarket. And I've had this problem with raccoons. Some of you have already know I've had this problem with raccoons. I thought I got rid of them. And I'm bringing my groceries to my door, and one of the raccoons swipes at me. Didn't even see them, and it's 4 of them, mother and 3 babies. And I've already been swiped by the mother once before, and I'm still dealing with a pretty severe infection from the bacteria that they have in their claws. And I've been dealing with this for 10 days now. So I did not want to, I really wanted to participate in the Hue meditation. I really, really wanted to do that tonight. And I can't go outside of my own home because the raccoons, are out there. And the other day when I was talking about this, I thought it was over, and Bridget said, well, they must have some sort of message for you. And I thought, well, whatever it is, I didn't get it, and they're gone. So, you know, I sort of forgot about it, and they were gone for 3 nights, and then tonight they're back looking for food. So I don't know. Does anybody have any idea what I'm supposed to? What am I supposed to learn from this? I really, really wanted to participate in that meditation and the animal spirit guides.
I have a book for animal spirits, so I'm about to look raccoon in here.
Yeah, look up raccoons if you don't mind. If everybody else is willing to indulge me on that, I'm just.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is awesome.
Of course.
I mean, I know this is really where everyone's bringing their higher consciousness and
Hmm.
discussing such really beautiful things. And I feel like I don't want to bring the level of the conversation down, but I don't have anybody to talk to at this hour or even during the day, really, about raccoon spirits. Nobody in my world would say
This
that
is
that's
all, well, you're in a good place then. You're in the right place. Okay, it says, if raccoon shows up, it means, in spite of any doubts you may have, the resources you need for the current situation are readily available. There's some sort of deception going on around you that you can discern by listening to and trusting your intuition.
Wait, I'm
Rather
sorry,
than
there's some sort of what going on?
deception,
Oh, deception. Okay.
deception going on around you that you can discern by listening to and trusting your intuition. Rather than being goal-oriented, this is a time for indulging your curiosity in open-ended exploration. Pay close attention to signs and omens that suggest you're getting messages from the ancestors or your deceased loved ones. It's important to remain emotionally and mentally flexible for the next few days, as events will require you to adapt to rapidly changing circumstances.
So be open to whatever. Can you say that last part again, please?
Yeah, and then it's important to remain emotionally and mentally flexible for the next few days, as events will require you to adapt to rapidly changing circumstances.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
And
that's
then
entirely possible.
it says, call on raccoon when you are faced with a task that will require manual dexterity. You're feeling stagnated and bored and are eager for adventure and exploration. You're faced with a challenging situation that requires you to be flexible and adapt quickly. An upcoming social event calls for you to put on a face that will help you feel more comfortable mixing with others. You need to defend yourself using assertiveness, wit, agility, and perhaps even deception. That's if you want to call on that.
So can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
I was going to say that this is not necessarily, I mean, I guess this could overlap with the spirit component, but I've noticed I've got relatives who have raccoons and they kind of, instead of, they've never had an antagonistic relationship with them. There's kind of like a food relationship where they feed them, which sounds counterintuitive probably because, you know, like you probably want to get rid of these guys in a practical sense. But yeah, anyway, they would give them like scraps of bread and stuff and they would come around and I'm just wondering if that would, maybe that would disarm them. You know, they'd be
Well,
like,
that
oh,
was
this
what
is,
caused the problem in the first place. I
oh,
just
darn.
saw them. They came up, apparently they were living under my house and I didn't know it. And I just all of a sudden one day saw the mother raccoon on my porch, and I had been feeding birds with my leftover dog food. My dog just died. And the raccoon found the dog food and I thought, okay, you can have a little dog food. Okay, you can have a little more. Well, then I didn't know she had 3 babies too. and so I was feeding them for a while thinking, oh, this is so cute. And then by accident, I got between the mother and one of the babies and she swiped at me and I got this really bad infection. And so no, I don't want to be feeding them anymore. I want to be rid of them, really. I do.
Oh, geez. Sorry.
They're
Sorry to hear
really
about your dog
cute.
too.
Oh my gosh, they are so adorable, but they're wild. You know, and I love animals, and I would love to feed them if they were not, carriers of all kinds of really bad bacteria. Yeah, I even thought about it tonight as I was coming back in. I actually said, I should just feed them. No, I can't feed them. I can't feed them. It's just, I'll never be rid of them. And the bacteria is now on my patio, and, I can't go in and out freely. And, so
That's
there's got to
crazy.
be some kind of a spiritual solution to this. I've mentally asked them to please go away. I also put out pepper. I was told by a wildlife removal guy and they can't remove them right now. They don't do it during the fall. Until fall, because if they trap a raccoon and separate it from the baby, and the babies are too young, then the babies might not survive, and that's inhumane, and I wouldn't want that anyway. So anyway, the wildlife people can't remove them. And they have all these rules in Canada or in British Columbia. They can't be moved more than 10 kilometers away. They have to be moved over water. They have to go to provincial land, and they can't
Oh
be
yeah,
moved.
I forgot you were in BC. That's cool. I'm in Ontario. We got the same issue with wildlife here too. You
Do
can't trap
you?
them. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't trap chipmunks even here without. You're not supposed to move them.
yeah. Yeah, well, they will move them, but they won't move them till the fall, until babies are old enough to be on their own.
Gabrielle,
Yes, I know. Is this too pressing?
No, I just wanted to make a suggestion.
Sure.
Do you have anyone in your area that is an animal communicator?
Gee, I don't know.
I
How would I
would
find somebody like that?
just try and Google someone. I know that here we have several people who are animal communicators, and I don't know if they do distance work or not, but Maya Kincaid is one person that's very well known internationally here in Sedona that does that. So I'm thinking if there's someone in your area that would be an option that would be
Sure.
non-invasive and maybe a solution to the problem.
I don't know. I'll have to think about how I can find somebody like that locally. I don't know many people that are on the same page. I really don't. That's why I just popped in here, because
Well, I'm betting there is someone in your area if you
yeah,
just
maybe.
do a little research and reach out.
All right, I'll do that. Yeah. So anyway, they had told me, the wildlife removal people said that I should just put pepper out, because when they get that on their feet, then they'll know not to come here anymore. But it didn't work. It didn't work. Nothing worked. I've tried a number of things. So yeah, that's something I can definitely look into. In the meantime, I was just so disappointed that I couldn't sit out in my yard and look for starships and star family people.
You
Anyway.
can always bring them in,
Bring them in my house?
You can ask your star family to come in where you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the raccoons. No.
Well, you could, but I'm not sure that you would be open to that.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I did actually. I did ask them, and I think it was because I was still kind of pretty upset that I just wasn't in the right frame of mind for that. But yeah, I can do that during the day. They're not out during the day. Yeah. Well, thank you all.
I would just say that the raccoons are there for a purpose.
They're here for some reason, and I just haven't figured out what it is.
Is there something that has been troubling you aside from the raccoons?
Not really. You know, I'm really, no, I don't think so.
Well, maybe just ask for the answers before you lay down to sleep, and maybe your subconscious will reveal that to you.
Okay. I will do that. I will ask. I'm going to turn off my microphone because I have to do something, but I'm listening.
You turn it off before you end the talk. You cut off yourself.
Oh, I'm going to turn off my microphone because I have to do something in the house that might be a little distracting, but I will. I'm still here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel, for coming here and trusting us with your questions.
Christopher from Waterloo, is that Canada too? Yes. Ontario? No?
Yeah, Christopher's from Ontario.
Oh, I see
Near
that.
Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's where I was born.
He wants to know where in Ontario. Hope he's going back outside. Claire, did you go to sleep on us? She's still there, but muted. Just listening.
I would say in and out.
Oh, I always enjoy hearing from you, Claire.
Oh, thank you. I was happy to see everybody here. I think I'd better sign off though for now. And see y'all tomorrow.
All right. Well, sweet dreams.
Here in Portland, and that's so exciting.
You can always sleep online with us.
Yeah. I
That's what
really like
I do.
Christopher does that all the time.
you know. Oh my God.
Hey, humans used to sleep in groups for thousands and thousands of years until we stopped doing it.
Yeah, I love that. That's really great.
I fall asleep in here many times.
Oh yeah, that was just amazing though, Linda. It's like a dream.
Oh,
Actually, it was really surreal. One of the times I remember I woke up and everybody was gone, and I was hearing Jeff sing a hymn as the sun was coming up. And like I looked at my phone and he was staring off into the horizon. Really surreal to wake up to
that's too
that.
cool.
Everybody else is gone.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Good night, y'all. Take care.
Good night,
Have a
Miss
good sleep.
Angels. Sweet lucid dreams.
Nice.
So who who is the lucid dream expert here?
I would like to say that I am, but I'm definitely not. Got some skills, but
Well, some skills are good. You know, we are all on different levels. Your skills are far more advanced than mine. I've been trying to lucid dream for a while and can't
have you
get it.
succeeded at all, or
No, not at all.
what have you tried so far? I think I could help you.
The drinking water before bed and an alarm before, like if I wake up at 8, set it up at, let's say, 6, and wake up and then go back to sleep, something like that. Also saying I'm gonna be what is it? I'm gonna be aware in my dreams. I will know that I'm dreaming before going to bed. So I don't know.
The thing that worked for me, if I could tell you, was it actually makes sense. You basically ask yourself during the day on repeat, am I dreaming right now? Am I asleep?
During the day
Yeah,
or when I'm sleeping?
during the day. And if you're really, when during the day while you're awake, you get into the habit of asking yourself, am I always screw this up. I can't remember both questions work, but one of them's a lot more powerful. Am I asleep or am I awake? It'll come to me in a minute, but you ask yourself either one of those, one of them being better, am I asleep or am I awake? And if you're really intent about it, you set an alarm like for every hour, like a timer, or several times a day, and whenever it goes off, that's when you ask yourself that question, and eventually it gets into your subconscious, and you'll end up performing that in your sleep, and it'll be like your subconscious will realize, holy shit, I'm actually asleep, and that will trigger you to wake up in your dreams every time. And that's actually worked for me a bunch of times. Like whenever in my life I started to seriously go through that process during the day, I'll have a lucid dream.
I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna set a reminder right now.
I've done it without like a timer too, but I think if you set like a timer on regular, uh, like a routine throughout the day, that would be even more intense.
So, what's been your experience with lucid dreaming?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
What's been your experience with lucid dreaming?
Oh, geez. The ones that I've had most recently were, I would, to be honest, it's been a while and I can't remember exactly what it was. I remember getting control of the dream and then forgetting that I had control and then going back into sort of a sleep state afterwards. But I've had ones where like, I'll wake up in the dream and I'll be like, this is amazing. And I remember there's this one where there's a hallway of doors and I got to pick whatever I wanted behind the door. So I opened up the door and, like I wanted there to be like a water park. So I went for this like amazing swim. That was what I did. That's what I did with my special powers. A lot of times I'll fly. I really like to try to fly in dreams. Just, yeah, I really think that that's probably tied to our astral body experience, just because the feeling is very real. It feels like you're actually flying.
Yes, I had dreams of flying.
Like just regular dreams of flying.
And not very often, but I used to have dreams of flying, and it was very scary. But lately, when I dream of flying, it's like a freedom, feel like a good feeling, like.
Yeah, for sure. Isn't that's considered like the meaning of that dream is like freedom, right? Like that's you're going to experience more freedom in your life or something.
Yes, I am.
I still haven't seen any starships here. At least nothing up close. I saw those flashes earlier.
Have you seen before, like up close, Christopher?
No, I've never seen anything like that. Have you?
No, no, just psychic communication for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like since I started doing I've started doing CE5 with Stephen Grier's protocol, and I didn't see physical stuff right away, but I had all sorts of weird like stuff happening around me later on that now I interpret as being, I think that like seeing stuff, if you're seeing something, that's probably, in my imagination, that's like the tip of the iceberg, that there's a lot of stuff unseen that's going on with contact protocol. And I think I felt like I've had experience and I just don't understand like what it is. I think it's still unfolding for me. Like I started doing CE5 every night, or at least like trying to, like at least talking to Star Family starting at the end of this music festival that I go to every year last year. And uh, what was crazy is it was canceled, but the harmonic convergence ended the same night that the music festival's on. So it's kind of odd that this event that's basically all about, aligning and contacting Star Family uh, was right there after a year of me going through a bunch of stuff related to this. Like I've had a pretty intense year related to all this stuff, and I haven't really talked to people about it that much. But like one of the hallmarks of it is like every night I usually go out. If I can't get under the stars, then I'll, in my own room, I'll try to do some form of contact. And like a lot of stuff has been happening that I've never experienced before, and I attribute it to being connected to that. So
I think it's because you are tuning in. It's like I think, I don't know if this Mark said this, but it's like you're opening a door, right? That it was closed before, and once you start opening that door, more things, we call in more of that.
yeah, definitely. What you, like you were saying earlier, like what you're ready for, right? Like everybody, your friend took like 7 years to have one step of their process, and then like you, it was like 30 days for like one step of your process. So yeah, it's like it's dependent on where
Absolutely.
you're at.
Absolutely.
I
When you're
gotta say,
ready,
like
it will happen.
I think like probably like I think 5 years ago, like all of this stuff I would have said this is just crazy. Like I wouldn't have been able to. I believed, in spirit, and I believed in that there's possibility for ET, but I wouldn't like most of the things that we talk about. I'd be like, no, there's just no way. And I just had a complete
You just
shift in
you
perspective.
take baby steps, one foot in front of the other. And the galactics know, and they're not going to do anything that is going to totally freak you out. That's not what they're about. They're here to assist and to love us and to show us what we have the potential to become. So they'll go as slowly as need be for that communion.
This last year felt like sort of a speed up for me. Like the the festival was sort of the start of it, and I was doing a lot of, I think I didn't realize it, but sort of channeling high vibrations at the festival, like just really like sending out powerful love to everybody and out beyond to Star Family. And I think that must have catalyzed a bunch of stuff. And this last year has been on turbo for me. Like basically my life blew up. My life for the past 10 years is completely different. And yeah, like a lot of stuff. I'm not with my partner anymore of 10 years. And yeah, anyway, lots of stuff has happened really fast.
Well, you have new adventures ahead.
There you go. Exciting horizons.
It is. It's very exciting.
That's just it. Like anytime talking about this, it's like, why aren't people talking about this all the time? Like, you're telling me I'm walking, talking stardust. That I was forged in the belly of a dying star, and I'm supposed to go back to normal life after knowing that, and sort of ho hum my way around. Like nothing's boring after you know that. But
that is true. Now that you know, there's no going back.
Yeah. Once seen, you cannot unsee.
I feel
But the good
like
news is you're
the
not
real world.
alone. You're not alone.
I feel like we're still like minus this group. That's what's amazing about this group. Like I'm so grateful, and that's exactly right. Like I feel like I'm not alone. Like we're not alone anymore. But like minus those steps, it sort of feels like there's this aching pulling back to the quote unquote real world. It's like there's a lot of pull to just sort of lull back to sleep, without, if you're not accessing your resources, you're not talking to folks about this, you're not thinking about it, because we're interacting, or at least for me, I'm interacting with a lot of people that aren't I'm not able to, they think that the world is reductionistic. They think that they're just a meat suit and that's all, and that money's like the most important thing. And I tried to get my family to watch a video on something like this, and like it was actually like they had a meltdown and like left the room and like got mad and were like yelling at me and stuff. I was like, holy shit. So it's yeah, it's difficult not being awake.
Well, think how much more difficult it is for those who are not. Because they really
That is a
don't
really
have any
good,
hope. They don't have any hope.
that's a really
And
good point.
they're willing to settle for what they perceive to be all that is, and we know differently.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's a game changer.
So what do you guys find has been like the most effective energy or action that you've taken that's helps people wake up around you? Like,
I think you just have to be who you are and be willing to not be accepted.
I think that's for me, that was a big part of it. They're not being accepted, and thing that has worked for me, is to, because at the beginning I was trying to wake up, my family members or people, or would talk to people about it, and really the work comes when and doing the work on ourselves, and keep on the path, because you're on the path of awakening. It's just the beginning. Like for me, I feel that I'm just in the beginning, and I've been going, well, we're always going, but become aware of it only almost 4 years ago. And, you know, and it's about doing, like Linda said, be you, do what you do, and love so much what you do, then people then will get curious about what you're into.
There you go. I guess for me, it's like I want to be able to commune about these things with people that I care about. You know, I also want to see them happier, and I know this makes me happy, so I want to share it too. You know, so it's like, like let's wake up together, but it doesn't happen like that.
No,
Sadly, no.
It doesn't. And also someone said, you know, not everyone is meant to be awakened. You know, not everyone's meant to wake up. So it's a great advantage to be in this pattern. Now it's also, you know, a responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
And realize that everyone has a choice. You know, just like we do.
Everyone has a what, Linda?
A choice.
A choice, yes.
Because not everyone will wake up.
Or at least like not in this lifetime, right? Like.
Right, right.
And everything, another thing that was very helpful, it's been very helpful for me, is just to, you know, embrace that everything, absolutely everything, it's part of the process. And sometimes things that don't make sense, and I don't know why certain things happen how it happened, but then at some point, you know, everything starts to make sense, and things start putting, you know, like a puzzle, things to start making sense and putting together. It's just like the beginning, which is the very, very beginning, you know, which is probably the most challenging.
Right.
And know that everything is in divine order always. Always.
Yeah, that's the challenging one, right? I think for me, it's like I'm like, oh yeah, the universe has definitely got its thing going on. But I've got my Catholic guilt complex where it's like I'm gonna screw it up, you know, like, and so it's like I'm sure everything around me is going at this pace it's supposed to, but what am I doing that's gonna make things wrong or something? I still got some of that left over.
Well, you know, we have a lot of unlearning to do
Right,
as we begin our spiritual journey, because we were told so many things that were not true. And as we awaken to the truth, it sets a whole new I don't know even how to. I think you understand what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
you just have to trust your heart, and if it feels good within your heart, then it's right and it's true. If it makes you feel badly, then it's your intuition telling you that the information is not necessarily incorrect, but it's not right for you.
Yes, 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 yes. Because there are so many external things, you know, teachers and guidance and all of it, it's okay. But at the end of the day, is what's true in your heart, like Linda said, what resonates within you. Because what the things that I did on my path might be completely different than what Linda experienced and what somebody else experienced. And it's, you know, about creating our own unique path.
yeah. You guys are totally tripping me. Like that's just really reminded me of something important. That's awesome. I feel like for myself, like I stay inside a mental space about stuff a lot, and I don't trust the heart enough. I was telling Linda earlier on today that I've been doing heart chakra meditations for the first time ever. I've never done chakra meditations for any chakra, so and I started doing them for a specific reason, just because I feel like I've got a blockage. And you're just making me realize the past few days, like a lot has made me realize like how important the heart is. Last night there was a segment that Summer put on where she showed a clip. Were you there for that, Linda? For the
No,
Heart
I
Math
don't think so.
Institute?
No, I was not.
Is it I forgot his name. Is it Denny or
Dana.
Dana? Yeah, she used to work there, which is crazy. I didn't know this. Like I'd known about the heart math, but I didn't realize like the rabbit hole on that is it goes crazy deep. Like our hearts are in sync with the vibration of the planet, and they sync up. Like they can measure how your heart reaches a state of coherence if you walk into a room with a dog that you love, and the dog's heart also reaches a state of coherence that they can measure with like devices. This blew me away. I wasn't aware of that. They can there's awareness of a field, like there's scientific data that shows that there's a field around your body that the heart creates, and that the heart has its own special neurons that possess a certain amount of information that rivals the brain. Like this stuff is just crazy to me. So I think it's interesting because the past few weeks I've been doing these heart chakra meditations, and I've been realizing that that's been something a challenge for me. I think I haven't allowed myself to be in my heart as much as I want to be. My true soul wants me to be. I feel like the responsible, reductionistic world that I've lived in has demanded otherwise. You know, like don't follow your heart, do what's practical. You know.
Right. And part of that too is as a male, you're taught from infancy not to live in your heart. You're taught to be strong and, intellectual and all these things that go against your very nature.
Right, right.
So it's an unlearning process, but you're doing great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your bit of confidence.
Now, I see you, Christopher. I see you.
Thanks, Linda. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I see you too, Christopher.
Thank you. Thank you, Diana. I saw you the first day I got here. I was like, oh, dude, you guys, you know.
And we love you.
I love you guys too.
I love you too.
And that is the greatest power in the universe.
See, that's what can't be doubted. I feel like I know that in the deepest sense, and then we get up and we live in this stupid fucking world where it's like, yeah, but money.
And that's why we're shifting now. I've been waiting for this for many, many lifetimes, and it's so exciting. Understand that we all chose to be here now, to be a part of this great shift. And, gosh, what an exciting time.
So I gotta check myself. You're right. I need to. This is being grateful and not negative about the problems. Yeah,
An
like this is
attitude of
crazy.
gratitude will take you into love.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you hear it all the time. Well, I hear it all the time, gratitude, gratitude, love, love. And I've been hearing it for probably about a year now. about the power of gratitude and vibrational law, but I think I'm barely really tapping into, and embodying what it really means.
That's awesome. How do you find how are you doing that the past year?
What?
How how are you doing that?
Well, first it felt even kind of fake, like just like writing down things that I'm grateful for, right? My bed, my things. But then, and I did that for over a year, and it was just writing everything, but it was just like, it's like saying I love you without feeling it. But it took a point where I could see something more in it, like, oh wow, like really, like grateful because we did choose to be here, and every part of it is so important and so beautiful. Like, it's beautiful. Like, even for me, I just wrote because I was like in a chaotic situation, but even when you see the beauty in that chaos and you just feel grateful, like I just feel gratitude, like, for being in that situation and having the awareness to witness life itself, because life is everything. Life is the beauty, life is the chaos, life is even the money. You say like about money, but everything it's like here meant to be in the exact way that it is. So I guess I did fake it until I until I believed it, until it really like sinked in.
Fake it till you make it, like they say,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's exactly
And Neil Donald
right.
Walsh says that works. I think it's Neil Donald Walsh has said that's you can actually do that. You can do the be, do, have backwards. Or you can,
Your microphone sounds a little bit, I don't know, like static or something.
oh, thanks for telling me. Does it sound better now, or
Yeah, that sounds better. That sounds perfect.
Yep, yep, yep.
I'm holding it too close?
So you say Neil O'Donnell or
I
Neil
was just
who?
saying, yeah, Neil Donald Walsh. That's the guy who wrote the Conversations with God series. Have you heard of that?
Oh
Or
yeah. Oh yes, yes, yes,
Of
yes.
course.
he talks about doing the process backwards to if you're stuck, like to act, and then you can run the whole cycle backwards. Because usually, we're taught to operate from an inspired thought, inspired emotion, to be what we want first, and then do, and then you can have. But anyway, sounds like you did the successful reversal of the process.
But who is iPhone that just posted a CIA on travel and holographic reality?
That's
That's good.
D3.
Oh, hi,
DG.
Gigi. Okay, I'm like, who's iPhone? Show yourself.
It's D3 Incognito.
Being sneaky again.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Yes, I think that's one of the first conversations with God. I don't even remember what the book was about. I read it about 10 years ago, and that was one of the first spiritual books that I read. So, and I can't even remember. Probably gonna buy it again. I don't
Well,
have
we
it
could all
anymore.
write our own conversations with God.
Thank you for
If you just sit down and allow it to flow, the answers will come.
Yes, thank you for that.
I feel like the purpose of book one was like really, at least from my perspective, was to de-link religion from spirituality, like to free people who knew that they wanted to experience God in a real sense of being, but were sort of shackled by, at so many levels, by their religious upbringing, that book just decimated those shackles as far as you would allow it to. Like for me, it took like a bunch. I started reading book one, I think, in 2001, and it didn't really click in until 2013 for me. Like I couldn't allow myself to believe some of the things in it, even though I wanted to, because I had like a religious background of my own creation. Like I grew up in a, like my family wasn't super religious, but I went through my own religious experiences like a young person, and was like super, like I thought I was going to be a priest, and was just super into Christianity in a religious sense. And then, over time, I had a more authentic spiritual awakening that involved like just sort of shedding all that, like shedding the shackles of believing in an angry God, a God that demands like penance from sin, and this type of thing.
Right. And that's a hard realization to come to.
Yeah, I think Neil helped me out with that more than I give credit. Planting the seeds.
It doesn't matter how you get there, it just matters that you do.
Right.
Yeah,
It's funny because, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. It seems like Linda and I are having a synchronized mind tonight, because I was gonna say that in the same. Like I have something to say back at what Linda said. That you choose how you want to get there. You can go on a plane, walk, kneel. However we're all going to the same place. It's just our choice how we want to go there.
And you're allowed to take detours along the way.
Stop and smell the roses.
Absolutely.
It's funny because looking. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, go ahead, Crystal.
I was like looking backwards at the Bible and the story of the man Jesus. Like it's clear that the true spiritual message really is. It's almost strange that it's been ensnared in this narrative of punishment and negativity, when like a lot of the most sublime parts of the New Testament are all like really aligned with, I guess I'm biased now, but it seems to be aligned with like the spirituality that I think that we would embrace now. Like this man Jesus would say, he wouldn't say, I healed you, I praise me because I did this for you. He would always say, your faith has made you well. Like he was sort of always trying to hit home that like you healed yourself almost, like it was something you did that healed yourself. It wasn't like.
Well, and he always said, all these things I have done, you can do and more.
Right.
And my favorite passage in the Bible is, and the greatest of these is love.
Exactly. Yeah. Like this is about accessibility. And the whole religious thing is so inaccessible. It's so full of, uh, sad, punitive, dragging your cross to Calvary type of sacrifice. Like God is at a distance, and maybe, just maybe, if we're if we do it just right, God will forgive us, and then we can get to the divine. And the more you look at this Jesus man, he wasn't about that. He called God. He didn't call him Father, which is a very serious English term. He called him the Aramaic version of like Papa, which seems almost blasphemous. Like in a term of endearment, like that you could be that close to the Almighty, that not only is he's not Father, he's Dad, and that we can all do that. Or like praying in the field, not being in the temple, not adhering to all of these religious customs, but that God is radically free. God isn't in a box. That's what this guy was about. And it's ironic that the Pharisees, the people that murdered this man, are very seemingly close to the religious elite of today, who build them up and say, like, this is our God. This is, you find like especially like I noticed in the States, the Christians in the South they're like, yeah, like this Jesus guy, he's the Son of God, and he's the leader of our, and then they don't allow themselves the love that he preached. They don't allow themselves the love to say Black Lives Matter, like
Right.
It's ironic.
I had a very dear friend who said, if I get to choose the name for God, I'm calling him Bubba. It's like, hey,
Awesome.
Whatever works. Yeah, we get so caught up in the things that we are taught we're supposed to believe. And I think we know deep within our souls all along what the truth is, and then we're made to feel outside of everything because we don't agree with what we're told that we're supposed to believe. But I believe every soul comes in knowing the truth. And as the veil is lifted, then we return to what we've always known. We just didn't know we knew it.
You see, that's got to be right. Like I felt that, like it's like ahead of time. I think that's what attracted me to Christianity. It wasn't any of the religious parts of it. It was the truths that are in it. Like what you were saying earlier, that love is the truth. I think that is what is profoundly beautiful about Christianity, and that's what attracts people. And then the institutionalized religious component comes in and says, yeah, but if you want to do that, you got to do all this other stuff. And it's just sort of a falsity that, at least for me, that's kind of what you get snagged up on, because culturally we're taught that. It's like, if you want the love, you got to, here's all these other things. If you're real nice, you can eventually get there.
Yep, exactly. Hence my problem with religion. And I grew up the child of a Southern Baptist preacher. I was in church every time the doors were open. I could do a Bible drill. I had to be one of the best. I better not be able to find a particular part of scripture. And, my father had a radio show that I started when I was 5 years old, singing on his radio show. And I still questioned, because even at the age of 5, I knew that what I was hearing from the pulpit was not correct, because I couldn't understand if God was my heavenly Father, why would he want to punish me forever for making a mistake? That never made sense to me. And it still doesn't.
So I'm preaching to the choir with you.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I started when I also went to a Catholic school, elementary school, and I was also like in disagreement with the teachings, and there was no congruency with the teachings and what, like I could see the flaws, and that it was not for me, and that's why I like separated myself. I think it was like a deep feeling of knowing, no, it has to be bigger than this. This is limiting. Like this doesn't sound right. This is not true. And yeah,
And aren't we
questioning.
lucky? Aren't we lucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, right? Because I think the human mind wants to grasp onto a pillar or something, and like what the realization of that we were just talking about, the necessary conclusion is that like things spiral outwards, and that you're much more radically free, and you don't have something to grab onto, and that's okay. That's really exciting. But I think that naturally we're inclined to want like a foundation.
Well, I can't do it
Because
tonight, but I had a song that was gifted to me from Spirit for my dear friend, who is my roommate, and it's called "Unlock the Door." And I'll share that one day when I'm able to do that. But since it's the middle of the night now, not appropriate. The neighbors would not appreciate it. But it answers a lot of those questions, I think. I can tell you the lyrics.
I was thinking that. I was like, oh, can you share the lyrics?
I can do that. When you think you need an answer and you don't know where to look, you won't find it in another. You won't find it in a book. All you need is there within you. It's been right there from the start. Every answer you've been seeking lies within your loving heart. Unlock the door, turn the key, set your precious spirit free. Give it wings, watch it soar, unlock the door. On this road that we are traveling, it's a journey for us all. It won't matter if we stumble, it won't matter if we fall. It's the lessons we are learning that will help us understand every step that we are taking. Let me think. Lies within the master plan. Unlock the door, turn the key, set your precious spirit free. Give it wings, watch it soar, unlock the door. Unlock the door, love turns the key and shows you all you're meant to be. Find your wings, learn to soar, unlock the door, unlock the door.
dude, that just gave me chills.
It's even better when I sing it with my auto harp.
I bet. Oh,
I
that's
had
so
forgot that was a
beautiful.
song.
That's
I was
so
thinking it was a
beautiful.
poem.
Well, poems are songs without music, so.
That's
there you
right.
That was more of this heart theme that I was witnessing. I don't know if you guys went to I can't remember her name. There was this woman who was a teacher of refugees, and Jamin had her on just 2 days ago, I think on Thursday. I don't know if
Oh
you guys
yeah,
were there.
Melissa worked with her.
And
I didn't,
she's a
I
poet.
didn't, yeah, I didn't actually see it, but I did see Melissa shared some of that, so I know what you're talking about.
She described poetry in a way that just totally revitalized my respect for poetry. Like I love poetry. I have poetry. I read poetry, but I think in between these bursts of excitement I get about it, I forget how important it is. And the way she described it made me realize, hold on, like this is the language of the heart, is what she was talking about, and how it's able. She wrote a poem about poetry, and in it, it was describing how poetry describes what is ineffable. You know. Anyway, you guys know this stuff already. For me, it's like a revelation in some senses from somebody who's been away from the important things to the heart, for a little while.
And that's okay.
That's right. That's what I'm learning.
Well, if you don't veer away from the heart, then you can't appreciate the beauty when you return.
What's funny is that I didn't want to leave. It wasn't. I think sometimes people want to leave. They want to go. For me, I felt like I had to. That for some reason, the things of the heart were illusory. That it was some sort of, like, for a while I was actually a reductionist. Like years and years ago. I thought that there was, there's more going on here, but for my reality, like, reductionism is good enough to describe what's going on. And I think I had a hangover from that for a long time, where I don't believe that anymore, but still subconsciously there's parts of it where it's like, that sounds great, that you have this heart connection with your pet, but at the end of the day, it's going to be really hard after 10 years when my pet dies, and I have to bury them. It's going to be really sad. So, um, I guess for a long time I wasn't allowing myself to put all of my heart energy into connections with people and pets, because I was afraid of losing them. And that connection wasn't necessarily as real as I thought it was. But um, waking up over years and years, clearly that is more than real. That's all there is. And then we're finding out, like, as science is progressing, that not only is that the fundamental uh, nature of reality, but that there's science now that's backing it up. Like this Heart Math Institute stuff is just blowing my mind. Like that, not only do you feel like you're connected with your pet, you're literally vibrationally connected with your pet. This isn't like woo-woo stuff. Like they can measure that your heart goes into a state of coherence with your dog. So we were correct to ally ourselves with the poets all along. It wasn't because it felt good or it was a dream that we wanted to believe. It was because it was the truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We weren't fooling ourselves.
that's very powerful, and I think I needed to hear that because I've been there, and it was a good reminder in this moment where I am right now, and not loving all in for fear of it's gonna end or losing it, because everything's, we're gonna die, right? So why live if we're gonna die anyway? So it's the same with love. Why love if it's gonna end or the pet is gonna die? But it's the feeling and the experience itself, and I really, really appreciate the reminder of that. Yeah, that it might go away or it might end or the pet might die, but what counts is to love just for the sake of loving.
Well, and we never die. We just transform into something else.
Oh, I just got goosebumps from you saying that. Thanks for telling me that resonated, Diana. I wasn't sure if I was going off on it. I'm not sure if things resonate, so I appreciate you saying that. It's interesting that you say that too, because and what you just said as well, Linda, because I don't know if you guys saw the artist tonight, the guy who was tetraplegic at one point and healed himself through sound. Did you guys hear his performance?
No.
No.
His song, which he made, like he basically did a loop pedal, and he does like all the percussion is his own voice and everything, and it turns into this symphony, and it's all just his own voice. But like one of the lyrics just was really profound. He was saying like, "Can you love enough to allow yourself to dissolve into what you're going to become?" I'm not remembering correctly. It was essentially like, can you feel love enough that you're willing to dissolve yourself in order to become what the next step is for you in every moment.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow, that is so beautiful. Wow.
And he said it. The lyric was far more better said than. But that's the essence of the communication. That's what I thought that was. Because I mean, yeah, like if you're in love enough, then you are able to say, okay, what's next? Like, at least for me, I've had the experience where you're excited and you trust everything and everyone in the universe around you enough to say, hey man, like this is a party of Christmas presents. Like, I'm not scared because I know like the next step is just going to be the next greatest version. And then I forget that that's what's going on, you know.
Oh. And Marco is here. Welcome, Marco.
Marco the
So happy to
magician.
have you and see you here.
Wasting all this time trying to type while my hands hurt and fingers hurt when I can just talk to y'all. Not that many. I'm not interrupting anything. I'm just here for a few minutes right now. I needed to test my computer. I've been having problems with it. I want to be sure I've got it fixed now, and it looks like I do. So I'll be good to do whatever tomorrow. But it was nice to see you.
It's nice to see you. Thank you for popping in.
And we have Erna too. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good day to everybody.
How did you pronounce your name?
Erna.
Erna. Okay, Erna. I can do it. Welcome, Erna.
We're happy you're here. Would you like to share anything?
Not for the moment. I just like to listen and feel the same vibes and resonate with the whole group.
Oh, well, you're in the right place. We're resonating. We're resonating love. We're doing love bombs all.
Yes, that's right. We love.
Love bombs all around. And so you can fill up your cup at the love fountain here.
Okay, my friends, I am out of here. I did my test. It's all good. And I will see people tomorrow.
All right, Marco, we love you.
Love you.
Sweet lucid dreaming.
Sweet lucid dreaming.
I miss him in.
I know. Has she been here today?
Nope, not at all that I know of. But she's very busy, so. It's amazing what she does. I never heard of what she does having a name, but it's amazing.
Sorry, y'all. I just got booted out. I lost battery power.
I can't imagine why.
I know. Where did Marco go?
He's come back. He's back.
Marco's
You're
back.
muted.
Oh, what's up, Marco? I thought you were gone too.
Yeah, I was gone, but just as I hit the button to leave, I heard Linda say she missed Jimena, and she's just needed a day of rest today.
I understand that.
Thank you.
A mental health day, as my best friend, who's no longer with us, he would every so often he would just call into work and say, you know what, I need a mental health day. Everybody understood.
And we all need those.
We all need them. You know? Comes a time where you just have to be with yourself.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back out of here. Have a good night, everybody.
Hey, good to see you, Marco. Have a good night, man.
Good to see you again. Good night.
Thanks for the Jimena update.
I know.
So we got somebody else here that we didn't say hello to.
Oh, you probably were bounced off. We said we did.
Oh, to iPad Venerna.
Erna, yeah.
Oh, I got to roll my R's. Sorry.
And she just wants to listen to the love fest.
I'm curious where she's from.
I'm from Belgium, and usually I have problems connecting because AM and PM and all those things really are puzzling me. So I'm glad I could join and relate to you and feel with you the same vibrations of love and peace and thoughts that unify the earth.
Well, we need you.
I'm so honored you're here. That's awesome. I was going to say I used to live in Belgium for 3 years, actually, in Brussels. Yeah, my dad used to work there.
Okay,
It's a
that's
small
nice.
world after all.
Amazing country. I miss it.
Well, amazing country, you may say.
I had such a great experience growing up there. I would never trade it.
Yes, well, a lot of people visit Belgium for a while. Yes, that's true. Anyway, I like to be here, but I know my country is very, very crowded. And I, especially Flanders, and I try to work as much as I can to feel the vibrations of nature here, because I think we need that.
No arguments here. And you have the best chocolate on the planet.
Definitely.
That's right. That expresses love a bit too, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Nothing says love like chocolate.
There's all different kinds of love.
Yes, that's
Chocolate love's high on the list for some people.
That's at the top of my list.
Mm.
I wouldn't mind living in Belgium just for the chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would trade my chocolates for Le Gaufre. I would go after the waffles because you guys know how to make waffles like nobody else.
Mm.
Belgian waffles are the best on the planet.
Okay. Now, talking about food, your French fries too, but I hope we here in Belgium do not only feel the connection with other people just physically by food, but we can also relate to them from the heart, not only from the stomach.
Most definitely. You know what always blew me away is I feel like Europeans can speak English better than people like from North America can. Like I feel like the type of English that is spoken in Europe by Europeans is better than my form of English.
That's something I am very grateful about, that we have a language we can relate, we can express ourselves through English. Unfortunately, I do not know, I can't speak Spanish because that would relate me to another part of the world. But I'm so very thankful that indeed we learn English because we can relate to a lot of people with that language.
I think what you were saying about vibrations with nature is really important too, given that the Heart Math Institute folks that I was talking about earlier in the conversation have apparently determined that the planet vibrates at the frequency of your heart and your brain, and that actually affects all the plants and nature. So you're absorbing that vibration for real. This isn't like hocus pocus.
Yep.
I agree. Also, what we said earlier, that when we relate to a dog or another person, that heart coherence is there. Yes, I relate to that 100%. Mm-hmm.
I know I personally have grieved more deeply over some animals than I have over some people.
I don't know about that, but anyway, it is the connection can be so deep and so fulfilling to feel the connection, the real vibration. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think with animals, there's no expectation. They love with all of their being.
Yeah, there's no judgment or thoughts that interfere with that.
Absolutely.
I really want to tap more into that because it's like it's been a theme for me. Like coming, I know what I'm about to learn or have like an embodiment or something because I keep hearing about it and hearing about it, and so and I go somewhere else and someone else is talking about it. Mm.
Sorry, Dan, I didn't quite understand what you meant by that. Like what other people are talking about?
Yeah, like when I'm about to learn like a lesson or about something, or when I'm about to embody a certain thing like gratitude, right? Or in
Right.
this case coherence, like I just like gratitude, it keeps showing up. Like I turn on a video and it's about gratitude, and then I talk to friend and the friend is talking about gratitude, and like that with having heart coherence right now. It seems like a very important thing and because I keep hearing about it, like I open a Facebook and there's an article about it, or right now I came here and you're talking about it and so on.
Yeah, it's very weird how that happens, I find.
Synchronicity.
I just get my butt kicked by that recently. It's just like, if you're not paying attention, the universe will somehow start smacking you on the head with it.
Yeah, you could get a little tap or a 2x4.
Depends what you
It
need, I
was,
guess.
Linda?
I said you could either get a little tap or a 2x4.
I don't know if there's a 2x4 standard. I don't know if that's, I think that's an American expression. Do you know what a 2x4 is, Dana?
A big stick.
Yeah, 2x4 is probably in it. I understand the expression. I think it is an American expression.
So, Dana, where are you right now? Like, what country are you in?
I'm here in the United States,
Okay,
in California.
for some reason I thought you were in South America. I don't know why I thought that.
That's where
I thought you were with.
That's where my roots are from. I think my spiritual roots are from there. I feel very connected to the indigenous tribes in the Amazon jungle and just around the world. I feel I don't know. It's a very very deep connection to them.
I'd like to move to California, or at least visit it at some point, but I can't get out there because I got caught at the airport with like a quarter of a joint in my pocket by accident, and now I'm literally considered a drug trafficker by the United States government.
Oh
So
wow!
I can't go to the U.S. right now.
Wow! Wow! Yeah, so I don't know. That's a theme because it's legal now, and there's a lot of people that are paying for marijuana related um, crimes, which is not a crime anymore. So I wonder if they're gonna come out with some type of forgiveness or something at some point.
Yeah, no, I think maybe I need to check in on that because it's been a long time and maybe things have changed. You must be correct about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It's kind of ridiculous. Like I think I was telling these guys, I'm like, it's not my own because it was like a friend who gave me like a little bit, and I put in my winter pocket, my winter coat pocket, put my winter coat away for the summer, and then I was going to the States to see family for Christmas time, and I grabbed this jacket without thinking about it. It wasn't like I was taking this with me, because I needed some or something. I just didn't realize it was there. And of course, you try to tell the people at the border that, and they just think that they treat you like a criminal. They're like, "Yes, Mr. Dennis, what else are you trying to hide from us?" I'm like,
Right.
it was pretty ridiculous. It's a plant, first of all, but if you really wanted to get high from this, it's really stale, and there's nothing here. So, how about I go back and I get you a real joint?
I have a question because I don't know also if I missed it, but I see two Christophers. Is it the same Christopher?
Yeah, sorry, I'm confusing you. That's my laptop, and this is my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had the same issue earlier.
With the joint, Linda? Or with the
No,
lap?
no, no. With the double Christopher.
It's interesting. You can see it's pretty light in Belgium right now. This is how dark it is in Canada. I guess it's 10:30 in Belgium, 6 hours ahead.
10:30 in the morning, I'm guessing.
So the night owls are holding space around the world.
There you go. I gotta put you guys on hold for just a sec. I hope you don't go anywhere.
Oh, I'm gonna go. I've been drifting in and out, and I'm gonna go to bed. Just been listening. Thank you all. You're beautiful people. I'll see you again.
Great to see you, Gabriel.
Thanks
you.
for joining
Good to
us.
see you.
Good luck with your search for the animal whisperer.
Yeah. I do have somebody in mind. She doesn't live here, but she may be able to help me from a distance.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Night.
Hey, Nick.
Okay, so who wants to keep the host title? I think it's also time for me to go to sleep.
I was just thinking the same thing. Maybe when Christopher comes back, he'll take it over.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been on for a very long time, so it's getting to be that time.
For me, it's time to go to my grandchildren. It was very nice. I'm so happy that I could join because, as I said, AM and PM, it's always confusing me and puzzling me. But I'm so grateful I could hear a part of the conversation, and especially I could feel the same spirit and the same love we share. I thank you all.
Oh, we thank you. We're so happy you're here. And we're usually here late, so we'll look forward to having you pop on again.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Thank
I'll
you
try.
so much. Have a good
Bye.
night. Well, have a good day. Or night.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Much
Bye.
love to you. What a sweetheart.
Oh my God, she has such a beautiful energy, and oh my God, I can feel the love.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I don't know who's even still in the room. Oh. Oh, it's just the three of us.
It's what? Yeah.
Because Jamin, it's just Jamin's avatar. And one Christopher with a split personality. And you and I.
I love Yemen's avatar. I first it was just an I just a picture, but then the other day when I was we were doing that meditation, sending love to Marco, and when that remind me of us, just holding energy for each other and unity, and now I
Oh,
see it as
absolutely.
something very significant. Uh,
Well, thank you for pointing that out to me. Yes, absolutely. I agree.
I'm falling asleep.
What's up, tribe? I just got back.
Well, we're both about to fall asleep on each other.
Oh, you guys are dying? Are you gonna fall asleep here, or like I do, or you guys gotta sign off?
Well, I can fall asleep in the room. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I
You'll
gotta
have to.
sign up.
Okay.
Who wants to be the host?
You got to give that to Christopher.
Christopher.
Well, you were doing
Okay.
such a good job earlier today.
Oh my gosh.
It says you are a host now. I feel so special.
Oh, you are
You
special.
are special. You are special.
Diane, I think we share one brain.
Honey,
I think we share one brain.
I think so. Yeah. Tonight we're being on a roll, like almost every single thing.
Oh, Diana, this has been awesome talking to you, but I forgot to ask you about that Facebook post you made about Robbie. Robbie, I forget his last name. Who writes
Mackenzie.
about? Yeah. How do you connect with him?
Oh my God. Oh, really? I was ready to go to sleep, but that's an awesome story that I
Oh,
gotta share.
what's crazy is
So,
I was telling Linda about a huge synchronicity today that's related to this guy. So I didn't realize that you have an awesome story too.
yeah, and so I was on Amazon buying books, right? Whatever. And I ran into this book, and the suggestions, and I bought it. I'm like, okay, I need to read this book. And I read the book and do the exercises, and then I forgot about it, put it on my stack of books. And then like a year after, maybe over a year after, I was in a group, like a Facebook group, and he made it a post there. And then I'm like, oh my God, is it the Robbie Mackenzie from the book I bought, this while ago? So I connected with him through that book, and then I interview people, and I asked him if I can interview him, and he said yes. So, but it was also very synchronistic, and that's why, sometimes it was just like a spirit, buy that book, and I didn't even know why. But then it turned out, eventually 2 years later, there he was.
That's crazy. What book was it? He's written like 4.
The Clarion Call. This is the Clarion Call.
Okay, crazy. I've got his Twin Flames and Merkabus book.
Yeah, I have that one too. But the first one I bought on Amazon was
I was telling you about how the past year has been like crazy for me, and my life got blown up.
Yep.
Your what?
My life has been blown up like completely. It started with a synchronicity related to Robbie Mackenzie. A massive, like, mind-blasting synchronicity that played out over several years and was multi-layered, but it started like I would not be here in this confused, glorious, leveling, dissolved state of my previous self, waiting to become whatever the next best state of myself without Robbie Mackenzie. So that's crazy that you have a connection with them and that you're on Facebook.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those things, right? Universal.
There
So
are
is
no
he?
accidents.
Yeah, they
I've
are
been
not.
I've been trying to get him, like, because I talked to him and his girlfriend here and there on Facebook. They've got several different pages. I don't know if you're aware of. Uh, yeah, I've been talking to them about sort of this twin flame phenomenon that they're basically, like, I used to roll my eyes to this type of thing, but he made me aware of it, that it's a thing, and there's various phenomenological symptoms of it, and people tend to go through it. I've been experiencing this to the level I can't really deny, and I've been trying to get him hooked up with the harmonic convergence, and I wasn't very successful. Like, I've been talking to him and Angel, and they've been saying, "Oh yeah, that looks cool," but not showing up for stuff. So when you, I don't know how you're saying that you're going to interview him, or he's going to do an actual show.
Well, I invited him. I told him a little bit about the room, how it is, and I invited him if he wanted to. So I will be interviewing him, and he'll talk about his work, and then he agreed to have like a Q&A after. So just
It's
to keep
freaking
the
fantastic.
dynamic of the room. So it's gonna be really cool.
So
When
cool.
is
I was
that?
just trying to get.
That's gonna be Tuesday at I think 1:30 p.m.
Holy shit! I'm glad I asked you. That's like right around the corner.
Coming right up.
Yeah, that's
One.
this Tuesday at 1:30. 1:30 California time, PST time. So I
Okay,
don't know
cool.
what time is for you right now.
It's we're 3 hours ahead, so it's 4:30.
4:30. So it'll be at 4:30 your time, I guess. Yeah.
So very cool, man. That's like, I was trying to get him to come to the conversation just to hang out and talk to people here, because he's like, what he talks about obviously would be awesome, but you've got it. You've got it so
Yeah,
that he's
and
doing a book thing. That's great.
yeah, and he's so like he's one of the sweetest persons I ever met. Like he's so sweet, so sweet.
Oh, really? See, I have never talked. I've only typed through to him, and he vaguely is aware that, like, his stuff has changed my life. But I have another chance to talk to him and be like, you don't
Yeah, it
understand. Like, I had.
if if you go to like you don't have to, but if you go to my Facebook, not my personal page, but my business page, the interview is probably an interview when I interviewed him. It was probably a year ago. It's there somewhere. I don't
Well,
know if
that's
you.
exciting that he's coming to the conversation.
I know it's so exciting that that Christopher was so his life was impacted by his book, because that's how it was for me. I bought it just out of a hinge, that of guidance, and it impacted my life as well in many ways. Not only spiritually, but many ways.
It's weird. It
So
wasn't the actual book that did it for me. It was like, I actually still haven't finished reading Twin Flames yet. It was a synchronicity that, well, it was like 5 layers of a synchronicity back in 2018, and they came to my awareness over between April 2018 and July last year, when this whole thing started for me. But it's just like, I'd have to. I won't go into it right now, but it's just nuts, like the levels of weirdness that was happening regarding that. Things happening on the exact same day, like a year later, and the different numbers that were repeated, this type of thing. And apparently that's what this is all about. Like, weirdly enough, like, this phenomenon was happening, but it was about a book and a person that described this phenomenon. So the phenomenon itself was happening, but it was happening around a book that talks about the phenomenon. So it was like a synchronicity inside of a synchronicity, a Russian doll. And it was tied up with this other person that I think I'm supposed to be with, which sounds like all this stuff sounds crazy. Like myself from like a year ago would say I'm losing my mind, you know. But yeah, I was telling Linda a little bit about some of this earlier today. I just keep getting crazy synchronicities about it, and you know, try to run away from it, and you can't. So I guess you
Yeah,
gotta face it.
there's
Yep,
no
and I
way
don't think
around.
I don't think it's crazy at all.
Yeah, me neither. I'm very excited about it actually, and I don't even know what it is, but you know, I just
Oh, wow, I'm glad to hear that from you.
yeah,
Hopefully, I didn't blow up the plan. My Catholic guilt is saying I screwed it up because this person really wanted to be with me, and I took too long, and they're hurt pretty bad. So now they weren't talking to me for 2 months, and I feel like we're still connected uh, at some level of consciousness, and I could feel that things were clearing up just after the convergence. And then one day I was like, I think they're going to write me, and I got an email from them that night. So like we're constantly having like connections mentally, and
mm,
it's like I'm trying to figure out how to write them back because they're so hurt about what's happened, you know. So
from the heart.
Yep, sound familiar?
I guess I need some heart chakra work. It's
No.
hard when people are not on this, like they're not, when somebody's really fast. Like I need time to like like, it's just really complicated. We're both in relationships with long-term partners when this happened, which is really like messed up for me. Like I would never envision something like this happening like that, you know?
Well, what's meant to be will be.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to understand too, Christopher, that when a woman gives her heart, she gives it all the way. And so she is giving you the power to destroy her when she gives you her love. So that's a very sacred gift that needs to be honored. And you, on the other hand, I believe, um, are dealing with the fear of losing yourself within this individual and the relationship. I could be wrong, but that's my feeling. So
Wow.
it's just a matter of communication.
Yeah, no, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Actually, one of the messages, she sent me 3 here in the past few days, and one of them was a pretty spicy, like angry one about how the sacredness of, you know, a woman's love is what. It's really weird you were just saying that because this is a theme that's on repeat now in my head. You know, uh, I don't know if communicating is going to help fix the problem though, because it's like, okay, now we know what the problem is, but that doesn't fix it.
Have you read the book, The Celestine Prophecy?
She's currently angry with me that I haven't read that, and I've had for over 10 years people keep telling me to read that book, and I haven't gotten around to reading it. I feel like I know it already.
That's probably a good time right now.
Yeah, this is your homework.
This is
Okay,
your
you guys are
homework.
giving me an assignment, all right? Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go now because my AirPods are dying, and there's yeah. It was such a beautiful conversation. I'm so glad I tapped in.
I'm
I
so glad you
feel,
did.
yeah, I feel love and I feel uplifted and I feel so much love for you, Linda and Christopher, for just being here and just for bringing so much awareness and things around my life as well by sharing your own experiences. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, we love you so, Diana.
Definitely, feeling is mutual. So glad I got to talk to you, Diana.
I love you too. Bye bye.
Love you,
Good
Diana.
night.
Have a
Good
good
I
night.
sleep.
love you.
Hope we
Sweet
get to
lucid
talk again soon.
dreams.
I'm gonna try the lucid dream.
Well, just set that intention right now.
Set your alarm.
I just
Set
said.
the intention for lucid dreams for Diana.
It's am I asleep? That's what it is. It's not am I awake. The question is am I asleep right now? That's more powerful. If you say am I awake, it's not as powerful. If you say am I asleep, you'll realize no, or you realize yes, I am asleep. Anyway. All right, let us know what happens. Night.
I will. Good night.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe, like, Linda, this is intense, man. They should pay you. Like, you've been here, like, how long now?
I have no idea.
You got a bit of a break, but yeah, I really appreciate your advice today. Thanks for sending me some messages in the background.
Oh, I
Going
appreciate
through a
you
bit of a
sharing.
ting. I feel like you have some serious wisdom about that. Like it's weird that you repeated a line from her email to me. Like that's a little interesting.
Oh, well, that kind of gave me goggles.
I don't know what to do with the fact that I'm not, like my heart chakra meditation thing is a step in the right direction. But my biggest thing, and I've been praying throughout this whole thing for clarity of heart, because I feel like, and maybe it's exactly what you said, is that it's not clarity of heart, it's that I've got some sort of fear that I'm going to lose myself in this.
That's just my intuitive feeling.
I was asking if I was in love with this person like 4 years ago. So I don't think that that's what the problem is. I think just after all the crazy stuff that's happened, it's like stuff appears to be unclear, but it's not.
No, it isn't. And when someone gives their love, they really do give that person the power to destroy them. And it's a huge risk and not taken lightly.
Yeah, it was pretty messy in the fall. Like she broke up with her 5-year partner right away, like within, I don't know, a month of us realizing that like there was crazy stuff happening with us. And about like even I guess it was like a month and a half or 2 months after that, I still hadn't broken up with my partner, but was like I was making lists and planning how I was going to do this because I'd been with my partner for a crazy long time. Like I obviously both of us loved the people we were with, but we were trying to, we were in love with each other. And it just seemed sordid saying it out loud, but we knew that it wasn't wrong, I don't know.
Sure. Oh, I
It was really hard to
understand.
do. So hard to tell my partner, that I'm leaving them, and I'm not just leaving them, I'm leaving them to go with somebody else. Like it was just,
Right.
and so she was getting really scared that I wasn't going to go through with it, and we were starting to conflict. And I think honestly, like because both of us have a level of like feeling at a distance. We were feeling each other's not just good things, but like freakouts, and it was just bouncing back and forth, and we started spiraling, and both of us got really. She was like, I need you to like move here now. I started sort of talking to me like in an ultimatum type. And I'm like, this isn't cool. And so I eventually, by the end of October, I was back and forth about stuff in my head about how fast I wanted to do this. And then I was like, I just need some space. Like I need to, there's nobody holding a gun to my head about this. I need to feel good. And this is feeling really bad because you're so stressed out. So we didn't talk for like 2 weeks. And then after that, I was like, you know what, like I got some clear space in my head about it. And I was talking to her and she was like, you know what, no, I'm not sure what I want to do. And I said, well, like, let's just put this on hold, And it was just within like a few days, we sort of didn't really say what we were going to do, but she was saying, like maybe in the future we'll figure something out. She ended up calling my partner, I don't know, a few days after that and telling her like that this was going on. And so that split us up, split my partner and I up, and really put a rift between her and I because that was a difficult, and that's an understatement. It was like a huge, I felt at the time, a breach of trust for her to tell my partner.
Sure.
I
And
didn't think
that's legitimate.
I honestly didn't think I was going to talk to her again after that happened. Like it was just crazy.
It was like setting off an atomic bomb.
Yeah, and she even told me, she was like, part of the reason I did it was because you hurt me by turning around. So like she even admitted that it was vindictive to a degree. But I understand, like this is months out now. Like that happened in the end of November. I've had months to analyze stuff, and we've obviously talked a lot since then, and in the early parts of this year. And like I can see from her perspective, I can see it from her point of view. I don't think it was right to do. And she apologized like like a couple months ago, she apologized to me about it. She was like, I'm so sorry. I told her. But yeah, anyway, so that was like, that to me that was a big rift portion, like the two parts of it that made things, first we freaked out. And then that caused me to slow down and from her point of view, turn around on her. And then her response was to do that. So that everything since then has just been like crazy trauma, like the breakup with my partner. Like I'm not, I'm like living with family right now. And, all my stuff's in like a storage locker, like just the messy mess of, because it wasn't like I broke up with her. It was like the narrative after that was that I cheated on her, which like what I needed to do was tell her immediately what was happening with this other woman, like that I was planning on leaving with her. And instead, like I started planning, how I was going to do that, and spent, like a month, 2 months in that state, because the development of us was so fast. Like we started so quickly. Part of it was like me trying to figure out, is this what I'm going to do? But it wasn't ever like, nothing physical happened with us. It wasn't ever meant to be sort of like, oh, I'm going to keep this under the table so I'm getting something, well, this other person is like, how do I do this? So to me, I wasn't looking at it like, I'm cheating on my partner. It was like, how do I do this? How do I navigate the situation? But
with the least collateral damage.
Yeah, obviously my partner didn't see it that way when she found out, especially with like her finding out from this woman.
The way she did.
So like I can't, like for a big chunk of the past few months, it's been devastating because obviously like I love my partner, and like it's been devastating dealing with her, just going from like a place of just like she can't barely talk to me, and now she's decided she's not going to talk to me ever again. And we spent 10 years of our lives together. So I'm hoping that will change at some point, but that's been really hard to deal with. Not for myself. I can deal with like not having her, you know, in my life, and having, losing our life. But what's been most difficult is imagining her and the pain that she's in because of what I've done. Like her feeling that she's so sad and that she's abandoned has just been really hard to deal with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. That's been probably the hardest part of this. Like I can deal with the pain of this other woman is something I didn't even. But now I'm starting to register that. I understood it all along, but I've been too busy dealing with like the nuclear blast from my primary relationship to
Right.
be able to feel that. So.
Well, I don't think we choose love. Love chooses us.
That's a really interesting way of putting it. Why do you say, like, what makes you feel or think that? Is that you intuit that, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
And also, Christopher, love changes. It's not just one way. And the love that you feel for someone that is genuine is not diminished when another love comes into your life.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this whole intensity had, and then like COVID hit right afterwards, and I, been locked down with the same people for months, and no standard support. Can't go to the bar with your buddies, and you can't go to your standard groups, like meditation groups and stuff. It's just like everything's totally different at the same time for everybody. So that was really almost appropriate that the rest of the world was sort of completely changing when my life was completely changing. Like a month
Right.
afterwards, really kind of surreal, spooky. But I'm not really sure with. I feel like that the reason why the heart chakra thing I was telling you about earlier, I'm needing to. I feel unclear in heart now is probably related to the fact that we had such a traumatic upheaval back before the end of the year. So
That
it's
makes
like,
sense.
I hope we haven't done permanent damage to each other.
I don't think so. I don't think so, but I do think that trust will need to be reestablished, and that may take some time.
Yeah.
But I think first and foremost, you have to forgive yourself.
How could I help my original partner? Like, how could I help her?
Well, I don't know that I have the answer to that. Time will heal the wounds. And I'm sure that there is a feeling of betrayal on her part when really there isn't a betrayal, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's what I'm being told. You didn't betray her, even though it felt like that to her. And I don't know that you can necessarily do anything at this moment to correct that situation. I think the situation will be corrected, but I think it's important to not try to fix it.
I think that's right. I don't see any options. I just try to send her like energetic support, you know.
Absolutely. And, you know, um, when you love someone, you want them to be happy, even if that's not with you.
Right.
So I think probably Jimena could help you in dealing with some of that on an individual basis. Obviously, you wouldn't want to, you know, go into all that in a room full of people, but I think Jimena has a great gift.
Okay, I appreciate that. That's a really great idea.
I mean, I adore her, and you know, she can see things that I cannot see, and she
Everybody's
may
got
be.
different talents.
She does, and she may be able to communicate with her on a psychic level to ask for forgiveness for you.
That would be huge. Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
And, you know, she does the pranic healing, and that can be done from a distance. I think you should talk to her
Okay.
privately.
I wouldn't have known. I really appreciate that suggestion. I wouldn't have known or thought to do that. I think I was sort of sensing, like, you know, I get a sense from yourself, and you've been tremendously helpful today. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Probably not here for long.
You know what? I got my second win now.
That's what happens. That you push past the level, and then you're like, oh, now I'm awake.
Yeah, I just needed a little rest break. Now what did I unhook? Hold on. I unplugged the wrong thing in the dark.
The sun's starting to come up here. Not the sun, but it's starting to get later already.
I unplugged the wrong thing in the dark here. Hang on, I'm gonna meander outside. Okay. Yay. Now my roommate has like radar ears, so I try to be as quiet as I can. Oh my goodness, hello. But no, I think you have been very, very hard on yourself.
I appreciate that. I feel like there's been a huge amount of weight that's been part of it. Yeah.
Say that again.
I appreciate you saying that because it's been pretty heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell.
it's unfortunate that it went. I mean, I shouldn't say unfortunate. I mean, who knows? Big picture. It's just, it seems like, I guess we could have taken a more direct route to this without going through all of the drama portion.
Well, you didn't set out to intentionally harm someone.
Not at all. No, I mean, it was, I guess, if we were more callous, it would have been easier.
And in trying to avoid that, the situation kind of catapulted into something else. But it is what it is. And all you can do is go forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I don't think I've blown everything up. I mean, keep thinking everything's blown up, and then the universe sends me another jaw-dropping. This is why I was asking. Like I was telling you about the 444s.
You got your answer.
The day I did that was when she told me that she wasn't going to talk to me anymore. She wrote me and she said, because this has been apparently so painful for her, that she finally, we were talking back and forth throughout like February, at the end of January, February, we finally like reestablished some communication. We were like, we need to meet up and talk and discuss like at least what's going to go on. And then we started texting back and forth, and her texts were really, they go from being like sympathetic, or not sympathetic, but you know, nice, to being really like acerbic, like, you know, you ruined my life type text. And I was really having trouble. I stayed positive and non-combative through the whole thing, just because I didn't want to lose the chance of being able to talk to her. Like, I knew if I started picking a fight through text after what had happened, that healing wouldn't be possible at all. But it was really difficult. The messages I was getting from her would be really, you know, she would go away for a while, and I wouldn't have a chance to talk to her, and then she would blame me for stuff that I didn't even do, you know, which made it hard to talk about the stuff that I did do, that I wanted to talk to her and say, yeah, you know what, I did screw this up. But she was mad about stuff that I didn't even do, and I couldn't talk to her about it, you know, because she'd freak out. So it was just really hard for a few months, and then finally we were communicating and things seemed to be getting a little bit better. But I was dealing with logistics of getting all of my stuff with my ex-partner together, and it was really stressful. And I told her, you know, I can't talk right now. I can text, but I can't talk. And she got into this thing where it was like she needed to talk to me, and I was like, okay, we'll set a time to talk in the future, you know, and we'll meet up. And then COVID hit, and so we couldn't meet up. And then she was like, well, let's just talk on the phone. And I was like, I didn't do that right away. I was like, I need to finish this stuff with my partner, and then we'll talk on the phone. Eventually she was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I'm moving on. She's what she told me. I'm moving on with my life. Goodbye. And that's the day she did that. Cut me off. I asked the universe, is she really this person? You know, it's the sign is this number that I was telling you about. That I didn't pick this number. This number was given to me at the start through Robbie. In a really crazy synchronicity.
Your mic's too close to your mouth.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry if you couldn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Wait,
So you were asking the universe.
Yeah, about that number that I told you about, if we were really.
Well, you know that's the angelic symbol 444, right?
Yeah, that's what you told. I got this number not from myself, but through Robbie, through my experience with Robbie, that original massive synchronicity that started this whole thing. And so that's why I used it when I asked the universe, and then it came back to me with that license plate the first time I did it. And then a couple weeks later, I was like, wait a minute, Abraham Hicks talks about us manifesting these things if we just want to. If you look for, you say, I want to see butterflies in blue glass, you'll see it or something. It was like, I need to know the difference between two. So I got inspired to ask again, which I did. And as you know, it happened again. I mean, I guess not as dramatic as the license plate, but for me, it was pretty dramatic to wake up at that exact minute. I wasn't thinking it. I was in a panic because, like I always, I say these meditations now for a year, every night now because of our connection, and this whole thing with her is related to Star Family. It's all interconnected crazily.
Absolutely.
Like she's highly connected to ET stuff too, which is like I'm waking up to that. Um, um, I woke up in this panic because I was like, I didn't do my meditation and I thought it was earlier. So I'm not thinking like, oh, what time is it? Like, is it close to that time? Or I wasn't thinking about the synchronicity at all. I hit the clock and I saw the number, the 444, and it just blew my mind. I was like, okay, all right.
Message received loud and clear.
Yeah, like I don't think I created that one. I didn't create the license plate one. Like I can't drive cars. I guess my higher self could help push cars around, but I think my higher self would need some help from other cooperative components that aren't that probably want to send me a message or just doing it for the fun of it.
Yeah, they don't play like that.
What's that?
Especially not, I said, they don't play like that, especially in matters of the heart.
Yeah, I've been praying for clarity of heart throughout this whole thing, because even earlier, before all the trauma, I was like, okay, like this is happening really fast. Like within 3 weeks of us like understanding what's going on, she was already talking about breaking up with her 5-year partner, and my grandma died right then. And so I was at a funeral, and it was like she started talking about breaking up with her partner while I was away for a week, to help go to the funeral and do all the stuff with my family, with my grandma. It was just it was really, really fast, like too fast.
Right.
I felt at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was asking the universe, and I was asking under the stars. I'm like, I know this is gonna, like, what I'm seeing here, all these crazy, like 444 was just one. Like, we were getting crazy. We were waking up. I woke up at 4:44, and she had contacted me, like in that very moment. We were constantly like waking each other up at the exact time. We would like wake up and then check our phone, and it was like we'd both message each other at the same time or something. Like just weird stuff. Um, so I was realizing that this was the big deal, and that was freaking me the heck out. And it wasn't freaking me the heck. I was like, okay, like my life is going to change big time because of this. I need to know that I feel uh, the way that this is looking like it's shaping out to be. So I was asking for clarity a lot from the universe and from God. And I was talking to the tree outside on my back porch. I was talking to angels. I was talking all of my ancestors. I've never talked to so many people on the other side as with this. And that was one of my biggest things throughout this. And I still feel like my heart is not completely clear. Like it was clearer before all the crazy stuff happened. And then as soon as stuff started getting nervous and crazy, it was like, oh man, the biggest message I've got is that I need to remember who I really am.
Absolutely.
And by doing that, I mean, you can say that, and that's something I pray for every night, but actually doing it's different, but I feel that that's the portal to that love, because I think that's, I mean, I know that that's who I really am.
You have no argument here.
She is pretty mad at me though, Linda.
Well, those things can resolve, you know? It's the intensity of the anger, is just backwards love.
That's a really cool way of putting it. That's true. I figured out that the real problem is once I better be ready once she's not mad at me.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
if she's coming back, and that's where I'm like, okay, like I need clarity here. I need to be ready.
I have news for you. You are ready.
Wow,
You just have to accept that you are.
nice. It's really crazy because I read today in a note I made to myself that I'm probably already ready for this. Yeah. I guess for some reason, it feels maybe I'm asleep at the switch, for lack of a better expression, of knowing how to accept that or what that entails.
Well, that goes back to thinking. Don't think it to death. You know what you feel.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
Instead of looking at what's the worst that could happen out of this situation, what if you instead looked at what is the best that could happen?
Nice. Like the most developmental moments that have happened slowly but surely over the past 6 months have always been when I've done that. When it looked like we weren't going to talk anymore. I've put out like that vibe where it's like, just relax, all is well. Like I know that I have the answer. And then it comes to me, So you're 100% right. That's got to be it. I guess that I've just been overthinking stuff. And I think you tonight opened sort of a different can of worms for myself that I haven't been paying attention to. I might be a little afraid of, because this is such a big thing, that what this is going to swallow my life. Like this is really powerful